Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Ajahn Hansa.
Good afternoon, Ajahn Pacharin.
Thank everyone for being here. Welcome back to the afternoon sessions of ASA International Forum 2017. We have two more sessions for inspiring us to share their ideas.
Before we introduce our next speaker, please once again allow me to remind you to switch off your cell phone or to leave it on silent mode. For those of you who use translating headsets, please control your volume to the appropriate level not to disturb the persons next to you. The parking receipt can be stamped in front of the hall. Now it's time to begin the afternoon sessions.
Our next speaker is Keisuke Maeda, a young Japanese architectural design studio. He was born in 1974 in Fukuyama-city, Hiroshima, Japan. In 2003, 5 years after he obtaining the Best Thesis Award of the Year, he found his own office, UID, which stands for Universal Innovative Design.
Since then, he has won numerous awards, including Dedalo Minosse International Prize Under 40 from the ALA, Association of Architects in Italy, AR House 2016, Design Vanguard Award 2014, and JIA Young Architect Award in 2012.
Maeda believes that to create architecture is like to create an environment, especially in context where physical space is diminishing in importance for community and interactions. In his work, he underscores the importance of being open to support cooperation between the varied fields of architecture. Some of his widely public projects, including Frame, a single-family house design with all its functions integrated within one 7x7 mattress box. Also, Atelier Bisque Doll, where the interior encompasses the outdoors to blur boundary between interior and exterior spaces.
Apart from his practice, Maeda is equally active in the academic field, teaching at Hiroshima Institute of Technology, Fukuyama-city University, and Nagoya Institute of Technology, among others. Please welcome Keisuke Maeda. As this lecture will be given in Japanese, I would like to ask Ms. Pantira Julayanon, as an interpreter for these sessions, to be on stage at the same time. Please welcome Ms. Pantira Julayanon.
Please.
Okay. And the interpreter for these sessions, Ms. Pantira Julayanon. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Hello, everyone. I'm Keisuke Maeda, architect from Japan. Is there anybody here who has been to Japan before? Oh, some. How about people who has been to Hiroshima Prefecture? How about Fukuyama-city in Hiroshima Prefecture? Oh, nobody now. I'm based in Fukuyama-city in Hiroshima. I'm from the town called Fukuyama in Hiroshima Prefecture. Fukuyama is a beautiful city with a population of 470,000 people, surrounded by sea and mountains. I have been working as an architect in my hometown for over a decade. To begin, I want to share a famous quote by Mr. Kitaoji Rosanjin, a well-known Japanese chef. He said, "Dishes are clothes for the food." This same concept can be applied to the relationship between architecture and gardens. This concept also can be applied to the relationship between towns and nearby forests. From these examples, they suggest there is a strong correlation that exists and each is indispensable to the other. Therefore, I don't think there are clear and definite boundaries between these relationships. For example, there are no clear boundaries between the oceans and mountains or the Earth's surface towards the sky and into outer space. Our natural surroundings are created by vague and unclear things. Now, let us consider how this can be applied to architecture. I firmly believe that it is very important to design something which is in harmony with nature instead of creating something that is clearly isolated from its natural surroundings. It is key in creating more natural circumstances to make full use of the characteristics and qualities of the surrounding landscape. That is to say, to create a structure is to create a more natural environment. My interest lies mainly in how we perceive our environments and how boundaries play a critical role. So today, I would like to talk about 4 of my projects, which are related to boundaries and divisions. The first one is called Atelier Bisque Doll. It's a home for a couple in their 60s, as well as an atelier for the wife, who is a doll artist. Here, you can see 3 diagrams. In the picture on the left, the building, the garden, and the surrounding neighborhood are clearly separated from each other. In the middle one, the building and the garden are connected, but not with the surrounding neighborhood. These 2 designs are the most common. I began to think if there were any better ways to create a more open connection between a home and the surrounding neighborhood. I tried to come up with an idea of how we can still maintain some privacy without building large walls or fences. Then, the idea came to me that the surrounding wall and the home within it could be considered as one whole, and that the walls seem like they are floating birds surround the entire site. This is a picture of a tea room, Bosen, in Kyoto. On the front wall, the lower half of the shoji, the white paper screen is raised up, which makes the boundaries between the inner and outer spaces less distinct. Yet, you cannot see the whole garden because of the upper half of the shoji, which triggers our imagination. There is a concept in Japan that what is difficult to see is more appealing than what one can see entirely or easily. In other words, to sense and perceive beyond our physical faculties, one of my aims is to reimagine architecture a little differently by having a modern take on the fundamental principles of Japanese architecture. For this project, I designed 3 waist-high walls shaped as rings. I designed them to be staggered on top of each other so that they go both inside and outside. They support each other by their own shapes, not by pillars and beams. This idea came from the books placed on one another, like piled books balancing themselves. In doing so, spatial diversity can be made inside the accumulated boxes, and I came up with a structure that is supported by 3 floating belts. Now, please look at the left picture. Here you can see the site and its surrounding neighborhood. This site faces north, and both neighboring houses have a large garden space on the south side. So rather than creating a big garden space, I decided to construct multiple structures on the site, since the homeowners can enjoy viewing the neighbor gardens. A sneaky idea, right? The atelier is put on the north side and the residence on the south side. Now, please look at the right picture. It is a section design of the site. The way the first belt is designed is to create less distinction between the site and the public street. The second belt creates some privacy from the neighbors. And the third one connects the atelier and the home as one space. This design is like the structures came down on an already existing garden, or as if the structures and the garden were created at the same time. The structural framework is steel. Steel sheet sandwich panels are used for floating walls. The walls in red at the residence side allows the entire structure to withstand the horizontal force in case of an earthquake. 6 mm steel sheet sandwich panels were fixed to both sides of the 50 mm deck plates. This is a picture of the construction site. Several panels were welded at the construction site rather than at the factory beforehand. In the right picture, you can see a plum tree. My clients have been growing it for years, so I designed it so that we did not need to cut down the tree. Do you see it here? The floating wall was set between its branches. This is a picture of the facade from the front street after construction was completed. With the floating portion, the boundary between the residence and the surrounding neighborhood is less distinct and creates a more open atmosphere. You go in through the door in the center here. Of course, you can go in from anywhere if you crawl under it. From the side, you can see the 3 floating walls better. This image shows how they are balancing on one another. This is the sloped pathway approach from the outside to the atelier. The walkway inside the atelier gives the impression of being both inside and outside, and connects the atelier space and the residence. Diverse spaces are created among the three floating walls. This is another outside approach from the atelier to the home. This wall creates some privacy from the second floor windows of the neighbors. This is a view from the living room. You see the garden over there? I made it so the clients can get a good view of the neighbor's garden. Again, not sneaky. By designing separated floors, walls, and roofs, the outside gradually becomes the inside, and it creates a more seamless and gradual connection of the inner and outer spaces. From inside to outside, and inside. The second project I would like to share with you today is a two-family home called Cosmic. Cosmic is a two-family home on the grounds of the client's grandfather's factory on an approximately 2,000 square meters site. I designed a residence and landscape that have several connections to the surrounding natural landscape. The idea was to create a space like an engawa, which is similar to veranda, instead of one large volume. So, several spaces were created by designing separated roofs similar to eaves rather than one big roof over one room. The aim was to design a structure that blocks direct sunlight in summer and lets in light in winter. This idea came from having a modern take on rows of traditional homes with tiled roofs. The structure with the overlapping eaves reminds the observer of a village landscape. Since this is a large structure, steel was used for the framework. However, since I wanted this residence to look like a wooden one, when it was completed, thinner pillars and beams were used. So, I designed them to be set close together and interlocking, like how wooden house would be built. In this way, the structure's large size would not compromise its strength and durability. This site used to be covered with asphalt, but has been transformed into something much more appealing that harmonizes with the surrounding greenery. This seemingly simple framework design is actually very complex and was finalized after a great deal of consideration of numerous designs. This steel framework residence was constructed with 100 millimeter pillars, which is the same size that wooden homes use. This is a picture before the factory was pulled down. And this is a picture after completion. It has become an open green space with no boundaries. The bust size of the site allowed me to design it like this. The 34 overlapping eaves from north to south make this construction more unique and different from just one large volume building. I strive to create a new landscape harmonized with the surroundings. Main approach. The clients lived on the left side, and his parents' family on the right side. Now let's look at the interior, separating the ceiling of one living room into a few gives the residents the calming feeling of being both inside and outside. It also makes the room feel larger. This is a picture of the dining area. 4 separated ceilings work in the same way as those in the living room, and also let in light and wind. Generally speaking, people who live in a bigger residence prefer higher walls around the site. However, since it is such a vast landscape, my aim was to create a structure and landscape that have a positive effect on the surrounding neighborhood. So, from the early stages of design, the landscaper and I discussed privacy and security issues with the clients. There weren't many people around this area prior to this project, but after completion, there's been a noticeable increase in the number of people who walk or jog around the site. As a result, the increased foot traffic has contributed to making the property more secure as well. The third project is named Peanuts, which is a building I designed for newborn babies at the nursery school my son was attending. This structure has been there for the last 4 decades with constant remodeling and expansion. The name of nursery school is Tsukushi Nursery School. Why did I have my son enter Tsukushi Nursery School? It's because Tsukushi Nursery School has its own teaching methods, which include nurturing children with natural surroundings. For example, they have an annual event at the end of summer, on the last day of swimming lessons. Toddlers are taught the basic biology of eels in the morning. They then try to catch the eels released into the pool. They cook those eels they caught with their teachers and have them for lunch in thankfulness. I know it sounds gross, doesn't it? But toddlers learn about life through this activity. We have been given life through nature's providence. I chose Tsukushi Nursery School for my son without any hesitation or anxiety. One day, the principal of Tsukushi Nursery School asked me to design a building for newborn babies. And I just happened to be both an architect and the father of one of the children at the nursery. The surrounding environment was not ideal. To the north, there were a few empty houses. And to the east, a 5-meter wall. To the north, 5-meter wall. So I thought building something behind an existing nursery school would make the circumstances worse for the children. I wanted to design something that doesn't have the concept of a front or back. Is there anybody here who remembers when you were newborn? Nobody, right? It would scare me off if there was anyone. I tried to imagine the feelings of a newborn baby while I designed the nursery for them. It would be a room for babies from 43 days to 12 months old. They still can't talk or walk. It doesn't mean they would prefer to be isolated quietly at the nursery school. It's true. They still can't communicate in words. Yet they are very capable of learning many things from their environment. I thought it was desirable to design a room so that the babies will always be in the center of the school, surrounded by many other toddlers, teachers, and parents. It is as if they were still in the womb, listening carefully and learning a great deal from inside. I also thought that it was important to design the room from a baby perspective. The reason being, I believe that they can develop and enrich their emotions by exchanging smiles not only through an adult's eyes, but through a baby's eyes. It is like a rich environment being integrated into a forest rather than being surrounded by walls. The room will be most comfortable and ideal for babies only when we create the room where they can have an interactive dialogue, not only with other people, but also with plants and animals. 8 hours at the nursery school is very long for babies. It is the circumstances where nature continuously flows and changes that come from a baby's character, even though those babies may not remember those precious moments. I designed the building Peanuts, where we can raise healthy children. It is a small wooden structure, about 100 square meters, in the shape of peanuts. The radial walls take care of vertical and horizontal force in case of an earthquake. There are no posts inside of the room. I designed the outer periphery for adults since there is more heat load, and in a comfortable space for babies by designing it as a wide open space. I added depth to the room, like in the womb, by designing it contracted in the middle. There is no play equipment in the baby's room, since play equipment doesn't exist in forests. I designed the floor non-horizontally on purpose so that toddlers can walk, sit, and lay down, as if they were doing so on natural landscape. The gentle slope connecting two areas allows toddlers to enjoy landform change by walking up and down. Here's a picture of a wooden framework. Set color beams on those radiating outward. Outside louvers are made of laminated wood with some curvature. This is a picture of a cross-section direction. I sloped those top boards with taking rain into consideration. Wooden louvers attached to the outside walls block strong sunlight in summer and let in light in winter. They work not only as a filter for isolation, but also as reflector for the shadows of plants. Toddlers can see a breeze by looking at the shadow of plants swaying in the wind. Toddlers can also experience the breeze with their 5 senses. I focused attention on an underground channel on school premises. The water table rises in summer, so I designed a brook that comes out only during summer. A cooler breeze goes through the baby's room with a south wind from the chiller water in the channel. I also took indoor thermal environment into consideration by harnessing natural energy as possibly as possible. As for landscape design of this project, I kept thinking what would be really important for toddlers by discussing with the principal of Tsukushi Nursery School. The theme is a nursery school garden, which can increase toddlers' sensitivity, as if they were raised in more natural surroundings, like forests and mountains. I planted lots of food-producing trees in the garden, like Chinese oranges, berries, and peaches, so that toddlers can tell which fruits are good by the way they smell. I designed an environment where toddlers can also enjoy many insects and bugs by planting many fragrant plants like daphne, herbs, and lilacs, which are butterflies' favorite. Tsukushi Nursery School has become an organic environment where the building and garden are inseparable. Toddlers walk and run around actively around the babies, and the babies can hear their laughter and conversations all the time. The babies are having indirect communication with the toddlers. This is a picture where babies are being washed and cleaned. Another toddler standing in front of the baby learns about his own body by looking at another's body. I lowered the bathroom floor intentionally so that they can teach. To pass on tradition and culture to future generations, it is essential to keep the traditions alive. Buildings are no exception. They need to be actively used and cared for. The final project in this presentation features an old house originally built 80 years ago that I have rebuilt and restored. It was located at old town named Tomonoura in Fukuyama-city, which prospered as a key port town. The resident house was standing, still and silent, on the hillside of a mountain called Ushiroyama, right behind the port there. It was Fujii Koji from Fukuyama-city, one of the most successful architects in Japan, who designed this residence 80 years ago. He is a pioneer in architectural environment engineering, in which he promoted the concept of harmonious cohabitation with our natural surroundings. This is a picture of his existing residence, Chochikukyo in Kyoto. He created very Japanese-like natural surroundings by merging beautiful principles of traditional Japanese architecture with those of Western architecture. This is a picture of the characteristic sunroom of the residence I restored. This space can be used as a sunroom in winter and engawa, veranda-like porch, in summer. The only remaining residence, Fujii Koji, designed in Fukuyama-city, was found 8 years ago. It was located on the hillside of mountain Ushiroyama, from where we can see the beautiful Japanese inland sea. However, 2/3 of the residence had already fallen apart when it was found. The new owner, who purchased the site 80 years ago, planned to have the house torn down, since he could not find anything worthwhile on the house. However, the new owner found out it was a residence Fujii Koji had designed, so he came and consulted with me. I was not sure at all if I could restore this residence when I saw it for the first time. Yet, I decided to recreate this residence, since I thought that we couldn't enjoy our culture without passing achievements of our predecessors down the generations. So, I started to design the residence with following these 3 steps. First, to examine the current condition carefully and select the reusable materials. Second, to respect architect Fujii Koji and create something new. Third, to design it as well as possible while on a budget. First, I wiped away the rubble and investigated the original design of the residence from flagstones. Then I made a survey of all measurement and drew a picture of the whole house. After all, I decided to restore the characteristic south-facing sunroom as it originally was. I made a new floor plan taking into account the original design, I decided to use the original materials as much as possible too. I also decided not to paint new materials so that people could distinguish the original materials from the new ones. It took me 3 years to complete the final design. After discussing all the costs, it finally came time to start building the residence. At the beginning, I asked the shrine priest to pray for safety. I could see the falling ceiling, shown as the right in the photo. The gate was down. The storehouse was collapsed. The chief priest must have felt so uneasy. The chief priest sounded desperate and made a strange noise, yay. I worked on this project by bringing together a team of greatly skilled craftspeople and carpenters. I designed a residence that looks like it used the traditional method of construction, yet adapted the modern method for structural performance. I used the existing structure shape and got rid of rotten materials. The construction site is located at the end of a street which was too narrow for some big trucks to drive through. So concrete placement was very difficult. We created joints with over 100 meters of pipes. This is a picture showing new and old ridgepoles that were finally combined. We could not reuse the laminar material of the back of the eaves once we removed those. So we had to carry out repairs very carefully by hand to those parts. Unless they break, Japanese tiles, which are made from burnt clay, can be used indefinitely. We reuse as many tiles from the rubble as possible after drying them out. The tiler had to make several new tiles that were exactly the same as the original ones. Smoked tiles have weatherproof performance for years and years without any special maintenance. I measured all doors and windows found in the shabby storehouse. Then I designed those so that I can reuse them for the new house. I asked plasterers to reuse the soil of remaining earth wall. I also used the soil of this land and managed to make the plaster that suits this site most. I made many samples to try it out. Then decided on the best color. I think I made the best plaster wall for this site. This is how I built this house with many craftspeople. It took us 4 years to complete this project. While I kept visiting this site for a few years, I could not get the garden out of my head. It's because I had noticed the traces of the pond and the waterfall in the thick bunch of trees. I realized that the original owner had been enjoying the beautiful scenery of Seto Inland Sea while listening to the sound of water in his garden. So, I decided to recreate a new garden by examining surveys on the original one, as I did on the house itself. I also came up with the idea that I would run a workshop on this garden project for university students, since they usually can't experience this kind in their class. I sought applications from a total of 20 university students all over Japan. 20 students, a landscaper, and I created this garden after 1 week. Here, we can see the original form of the garden. It is completely covered in weeds. But youthful energy of students sped up progress. However, a typhoon hit us directly during the period of the workshop, so it became really tough. The students planted many plants under the leadership of a landscaper. My client also attended on the last day of the workshop, and everything was completed in the rain. After a long 80 years, this site was recreated as Ushiroyama Sanso and was a result from a collaboration of many class people and students. Sunroom, a living room with reused ceiling material and other stuff. Looking in the direction of the sunroom from a dining room. Engawa veranda-like porch, connecting garden and the living room. It is a very blessed space where people can enjoy the changing of seasons, such as the autumn color of leaves and the snowy landscape during winter. This residence is a private resort, so my client does not use this place so often. That means the house deteriorates more quickly. To prevent that from taking place, I started an organization named Ushiroyama Sanso Club right after the date of completion. We had various events there. Using the place as a location for community gatherings or for a gospel concert and strings concert. Sometimes ran an exhibition for artists. I strongly believe that this place can last for a long time by being known to and loved, not only by my client, but also by many others. It had started as a private project, but has been expanded to include cultural ones as well. I understand this is a special and rare case, but when I consider short-lived Japanese architectural circumstances, they can be one of the universal methods we can build community assets from the residential houses. Last, but certainly not least, I would like to share my favorite saying from Zen doctrine. 妙寿棚心にあり. 妙寿 means a valuable treasure. You can never overestimate, and it has been put in your hands by nature. This saying can be true for all aspects of our lives. As for Ushiroyama Sanso, I just share with you. If the new owner had thought that the tumble-down old house was worthless, the residence would have been torn down. I think what we think is worthy depends on how often we notice things. It is easy for us to mistake something fancier for something more worthy when we make little account of what we already have. I think it is very important that we got to perceive truth by paying closer attention to what would be too silent to listen to and small to look at. I would like to keep myself involved in various areas in the world through architecture from my small hometown, Fukuyama-city. Thank you very much for inviting me today. I feel so honored to be here with you all. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Kun Keisuke Maeda, for an impressive presentation. Now it's time for our Q&A. Our staff will give each of you a small piece of paper. For those who have questions, please return it into your nearest staff, or you can ask the question directly from the standing microphone in the middle of the aisle, or you can have the microphone from the staff too.
Now, please welcome Mr. Chatpong Chunudimon, the moderator of the sessions, and also Ms. Pantira Julayanon for the interpreter.
Thank you, Keisuke, for a very inspirational lecture. I'll wait for her to translate. Okay. Personally, I really wanted to see your work this year. Your house for a doll maker is one of my favorite houses.
My pleasure.
My first question, I like you first describe architecture with the word unclear, which I think is very interesting, and how you create boundaries that aren't clear but are actually ambiguous in your projects is one of the most intriguing things for me. Can you speak more about that? Maybe from specific projects, maybe one of the 4 you've done?
さっきのプレゼンテーションの中で、前田さんの建築は、曖昧な境界とか そういう境界線の曖昧さを使って建築を作られたと思うんですけれども、それについてとても面白いなと思っていて、もう少しそれについて説明させていただきたいと思います。
おそらくですけど、日本ではその境界っていうその物理的な人工的な境界というよりは心の中でその境界が作れるんだと思うんですね、日本人は。なので見た目にその平和なくてもなんかその世界が変わるというか、それは例えば鳥居、神社の鳥居とかもつながってるんですけど、そこを通ることで気持ちの切り替えが境界があるっていうか。
He said in Japanese culture, the idea of boundary is really understood internally by the heart or your internal sense. So a sense of boundary or limits is already inside all of us. So you don't need to build so much physical form to show it, right? So, and one of the examples in Japanese architecture is the gateway, Torii gateway, ที่เป็นซุ้มก่อนที่จะเข้าวัดนะครับ he said that basically just having a symbol of it already suggests a boundary that you can feel in your inner being. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask. Yes. I think it's better if you pass the microphone and ask. It's more fun to hear actual questions. Can you send him a microphone?
I don't need one.
Okay.
Greetings from Sri Lanka. I come from a country when my gate is open. I always have my cats and dogs from my neighbor coming to my house, and I think they prefer to live in my house rather than living in their own houses. How does it work in Japan? It's a fantastic idea to have a floating parapet wall. Fantastic. First time I've seen it. But how does it work? And also, security-wise, you did mention about security in another project. But how does security work? And how do you? And also in your conceptual sketches, it was very interesting to see someone walking with a dog and dog trying to come into your house. So you knew about it. And how does it work? It's a very interesting idea. But is Japan so organized, and is it a wonder world? Thank you.
Ah, さっきの浮いたこの壁の住宅っていうのはある意味セキュリティが高いんですよ。全部見えてるんで、それを接種に説得するのがまた建築家のなんか力というか。
He said that, as for example, in the first house, it could be his own personal opinion, but he says that the fact that you can see everything already makes it secure. Yeah, think about it. It's very deep. It's very Japanese. I love it. But even though the client is Japanese, he still said it took a while to convince the client of the concept of privacy in that house. You can talk.
壁がないっていうことにすごい気にしてたんですけど、まあ、こう住むと慣れるんじゃないかとか、じゃないとこう刑務所のようなこうすごい高い塀がこうできてしまうので、やっぱりその住宅っていうのは自分のものなんですけど、その周囲の人に対しても何か景観を作るっていう意味で、最初の頃からずっとこうクライアントと話をしてあれをこう実現できるところまでこう持っていくっていう、まあ、不安なことっていうのは常につきまとうので、やっぱりそれを説得しながら丁寧にこう理解してもらうっていうことをやってます。
The first time he presented this concept to the first client, he said the client was very scared. He basically says that by explaining to the client that the house in itself is not just living in the house, but the idea of home is actually about looking out into the street, into the surrounding, and having a connection. So that's how he explained it to the client, where you're not isolated from your context. Any more questions? Yes, one over there.
All right, thank you for a delightful presentation. Actually, I was fascinated by your drawings. Saw lots of interesting and fascinating hand drawings up there, and so I'm wondering how do they factor in your design process? Like, for example, the drawing of the last house, the old house that was destroyed. It was quite dramatic in a way. So how do these drawings factor in the design process?
Yes. 先ほど見せていただいたいろんなプロジェクトにたくさんのスケッチがなされてからプロジェクトに移ったと思うんですけれども、それがとてもいろんなスケッチが魅力的だなと思っていて、それで一番気になったのは、それらのスケッチは実際の作品にどういうふうに生かされているのかについて聞きたいです。
まあ、やっぱりそのクライアントのもちろん要望と、あとその敷地の状態というか、そこからどういうふうにこう建築を、まあ、住宅だったらこう作った方がいいのかとか、そういうことをやっぱり考えていくと、まあ、そのスケッチでもいろんなもちろん光を考えているスケッチもあれば、先ほどのようにこう軒のような作り方をすることによって光を夏は遮りながら冬は取り入れたりとか、やっぱりまあ敷地にこう立つことでそのいろんなイメージとかそういうのをこうスケッチにこう書き留めて、それをまあ実現していくっていう。
He said that the way that he draws and sketches, it allows him an opportunity while drawing to understand the site more, going through the process of drawing. And while he's sketching, he actually figures out and feels the wind coming through from one direction or the sun coming through from another direction. So he understands intimately the forces of nature while drawing. And also, I want to ask, the last drawing, which I thought was beautiful, of the kind of remains of the old house. What did he learn from that?
さっき最後のプロジェクトの改修のプロジェクトのスケッチとかはとても美しいなと思っていて、そのスケッチから実際の改修にどういうふうにスケッチがどういうふうに影響したかについてお聞きしたいと思います。
ああいうこう古いものを扱う改修のプロジェクトっていうのは、非常にこう難しくて、スケッチも大事なんですけど、やっぱりもうそのものを見てその材料をどう生かせれるか、捨てるべきなのか生かすべきなのかっていう、あくまでこうスケッチは全体のこうイメージをサポートするものであって、やっぱりああいう改修は一つずつその材料を見ながらこう判断していくっていうのがやっぱりこう難しいところですね。
Okay, he said for the last project, the drawings weren't probably very necessary, but it was good supporting evidence for the project. But what was more important is really understanding the existing materials, which I'm sure he understood more while drawing it, and how to translate that into new construction. We have time for one more question.
Hello. Hi. Actually, first of all, can I just sort of show appreciation for this setup? I find it to be a very good metaphor for blurring of boundaries. It's not very clear where, I'm not sure what's going on up there. Does it go from English to Thai and Japanese? Then it's great.
It's all very blurry.
Oh, yes. I'm sure. So the question is more about your last project that you showed up there. I wondered how you navigate sort of the old and the new, how that balance works. You mentioned a little bit about materials, and you said you were painting the new but not the old or something like that. It's quite different to your newer, your complete new builds that you've showed, the first two, something like that. So, yeah.
さっきのまた最後のプロジェクトの話なんですけれども、そういう古い建物を改修するときに古いものと新しいもののやり取りとか、その間の関係性とかはどういうふうに考えていらっしゃるのかを、もうちょっと具体的なことがあればお聞きしたいです。
まずこう、今に、世界中かもしれないですけど、日本でもその材料とかそういうもの、古いものをこう長くこう使わない文化になりつつあるんですね。
Basically, he's saying that have to be in short increments, but he says that there's a trend right now in preservation, or just in recycling materials and not using materials that have a long life. Is that
sustainability?
Yeah. It doesn't have to last forever, you're saying, right? The materials that are used.
そのなんていうのかな、まあこうその例えばまあ今再開発とか、まあバンコクでもそうかもしれないですけど、まあ再開発っていうと古いものがこうなくなってしまいがちで、やっぱり再開発でもこう古いものを生かしながらできる街ってものすごく魅力的だと思ってて、そのやはりこう古いものと新しいものっていうものがこうある意味混在しながら時間をこうなんていうのかこう積み重ねていける、そんなこう街ってなんかすごく素敵だなと思ってて、そういう意味で僕はこう新しい建築も作るんですけど、その新しさの中にはもともと日本にある伝統的なそのエッセンスみたいなものを今の時代に合う形で自分がこう作っていくことによって、まあ、それも一つのこう、まあ、新しい伝統をこう引き継ぐスタイルにもなるだろうし、先ほどの最後のプロジェクトのように古いものを扱ったものっていうああいうものもちゃんと残しながらただそのままオリジナルに戻すんではなくて、まあ、今の時代とか世襲とかそういったものに合うように少し手を加えてでもオリジナルの良さを生かしていく、まあ、そういうのも建築家にこう求められてるんじゃないかなと思うんですよ。
จะพูดภาษาไทยไหมอธิบายได้เลยเอาเลยไม่หรอกคำถามสุดท้ายเอาเลยเขาอยากฟังเราแล้วล่ะเขาไม่อยากฟังพี่แล้วล่ะ
ค่ะก็คุณไมดาซังที่เมื่อกี้พูดก็คือเขาบอกว่าในปัจจุบันเนี้ยค่ะการพัฒนาพื้นที่หรือการสร้างสิ่งก่อสร้างต่างๆขึ้นมาอย่างหนึ่งส่วนใหญ่ก็คือจะทำลายสิ่งเก่าที่มีอยู่แล้วก็สร้างใหม่เลยแต่ในความคิดเห็นของเขาเองเนี่ยเขาคิดว่าเมืองหรือว่าเมืองที่มีความเก่าและความใหม่ผสมกันอยู่เนี่ยถือว่าเป็นคิดว่าเป็นเมืองที่มีเสน่ห์กว่ามากแล้วเขาก็คิดว่าในฐานะที่เป็นสถาปนิกเนี่ยค่ะเขาก็มีหน้าที่ที่จะสืบสานแล้วก็เชื่อมต่อระหว่างสิ่งเก่ากับสิ่งใหม่เข้าด้วยกันด้วยค่ะ
I'll translate in English after the party. Whoever wants me to translate, but I think we're over time. But great discussion. Nobody else wants to ask, right? Should we do one more, or there's so much interest in your work? Last question.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for your beautiful presentation. I would like to have a very short question. Yeah, since your work is so beautiful and your feeling also beautiful, I believe that your heart is also beautiful. Then I would like to ask you one question. What is your belief? What is your belief?
何を信じてるかっていうと、まあ、タイでは建築っていうその建築寿命っていうのが何年ぐらいでこう継続しているのか分かんないんですけど、日本って今本当30年とか50年ぐらいで建物は結構壊されてて作り変えることがなんか文化になってるっていう。だからやっぱり僕はこう建築っていうのは人がこう何か受け継いでいく、先人が作ったものをなんか今の時代を生きる僕らがそれを使っていく、でそして今度次の世代がそれをこう使っていくっていう、やっぱりそういう時間を経たものっていうことがやっぱり文化だし、そういうことがこう僕は建築やってて素晴らしいことだと思うし、だからそういうものをやっぱりこう信じる、それは人が建築を使っていくっていう力をこう信じたいなって、そういう建築を作りたいなと思います。
ค่ะก็เขาก็เชื่อว่า คือเขาบอกว่าไม่ทราบว่าในเมืองไทยเนี่ยค่ะเรื่องอายุการใช้งานของอาคารแต่ละชิ้นเนี่ยจะมีอายุการใช้งานประมาณเท่าไหร่แต่ว่าในญี่ปุ่นเองค่ะวัฒนธรรมญี่ปุ่นก็จะมีกำหนดคร่าวๆอยู่ว่าอาคารหนึ่งเนี่ยก็จะมีอายุประมาณ 30-50 ปีนะคะแล้วก็ตอนนี้ก็เลยวิธีการสร้างอาคารหรือออกแบบอาคารอะไรก็จะค่อนข้างอิงอยู่กับอายุการใช้งานอันนี้เป็นอย่างมากก็คือสร้างแล้วก็ 30-50 ปีก็สร้างใหม่วนไปเรื่อยๆอย่างนี้ก็ถือว่าเป็นวัฒนธรรมที่ตอนนี้ประสบอยู่ในญี่ปุ่นนะคะแล้วก็แต่ว่าสิ่งที่เขาเชื่อว่าสิ่งที่เขาเชื่ออันนี้จะเป็นคำตอบของคำถามเมื่อกี้นะคะว่าสิ่งที่เขาเชื่อก็คือว่าสถาปัตยกรรมเนี่ยค่ะควรจะถูกสืบเนื่องต่อไปเรื่อยๆก็คือมันอาจจะมีการเปลี่ยนแปลงบ้างแต่ว่าไม่ได้พังเราสร้างใหม่ในด้วยอะไรที่ไม่ได้ต่อเนื่องกับสิ่งเดิมที่มีอยู่ค่ะแล้วเขาก็คิดว่าสิ่งที่สำคัญเลยก็คือพลังของการที่คนใช้งานสถาปัตยกรรมชิ้นหนึ่งเนี่ยค่ะถือว่าเป็นสิ่งที่เขาเชื่อมากที่สุดในการสร้างสถาปัตยกรรมค่ะ
Very quickly, I'll translate in English real quick. Basically, the first point was about in Japan, he doesn't know how it is in Thailand, but in Japan, there's an understanding that all buildings have a lifespan of about 30 to 50 years. So the selection of materials is according to that definite finite lifespan, right? And the second point is, for him as an architect, his belief is that when you build a building and you demolish a building, it isn't just processes that are separated, but there has to be a continuity that ties all buildings together through their different ages. And as an architect, he believes in the power of architecture as to create an impact on life. Jack, you want the last question? Really last question. Yeah? No?
Yeah. That can be very short and very easy. I enjoy a lot of your work. I like your work. Congratulations. Just want to ask about the color, the whiteness. White color? Did you do the first project because it's contrast with nature or it transform domestic life to nature, being framed on nature, or you do it because it's fashionable for a Japanese architect to do it white?
もともと白は
Understood.
I hate white 白は嫌いなんですけど、基本的にはこうエイジングする材料っていうかこう時間をまとっていける材料が好きなんですけど、今日お話しした2つのプロジェクトは、自分が作ってる中でも結構珍しい白を使ってる建築で、白ってすごい存在感があってあまりこう好きじゃないんですけど、あれだけ自然の中で作っていく時にはその白があるからよりこう自然が引き立ったり、その自然があるからその白い何かその存在が少し程よく気になったりするっていう意味では時々ああいうこう白っていうのを使って、ただこう箱のような時に白はあまり使わないというか重たくこう感じるっていう、普段は木を使うことが多くて
จริงๆแล้วเขาบอกว่าเขาเกลียดสีขาวมากนะคะ แต่ว่าในงานชิ้นแรกเนี่ยค่ะเพราะว่าที่เขาไม่ค่อยชอบเขาในงานชิ้นแรกเนี่ยค่ะเขาบอกว่าที่ใช้สีขาวเนี่ยค่ะเพราะว่าหนึ่งก็คือมันจะช่วยทำให้สภาพแวดล้อมก็คือบ้านหลังนั้นเนี่ยล้อมรอบไปด้วยธรรมชาติและต้นไม้จำนวนมากก็ถ้าการใช้สีขาวเนี่ยก็จะช่วยให้ต้นไม้เหล่านั้นเด่นชัดขึ้นและในขณะเดียวกันสีขาวก็จะมีความชัดเจนขึ้นมาอีกระดับหนึ่งเมื่ออยู่ในธรรมชาตินะคะแล้วเขาก็บอกว่าอีกอย่างหนึ่งที่เขา
while they're talking. So I'll translate the first part. So he said that he hates white, personally, but for the first project, he felt like it was appropriate because it became a nice backdrop for nature that surrounded it, and also once the white is in the midst of greenery, it becomes more evident as well.
ก็จริงๆแล้วค่ะตัววัสดุที่เขาชอบมากกว่าก็จะเป็นวัสดุที่สามารถมองเห็นการค่อยๆผ่านการเวลาของมันไปได้นะคะแล้วก็จะเห็นได้จากผลงานชิ้นอื่นๆอาจจะดูได้จากในเว็บไซต์นะคะว่าจริงๆแล้วก็ไม่ได้มีผลงานสีขาวเยอะขนาดนั้นค่ะก็ค่ะก็เขาก็จะจริงๆแล้วเรื่องสีก็จะค่อนข้างดูกับบริบทโดยรอบด้วยว่าอันนี้จะเหมาะกับสีอะไรหรือสีอะไร
For him, his preference is to choose materials that actually ages and shows patina and shows the age over time, which you can check out on his website. Yeah. So I think that's it. All right. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Keisuke, for inspirational work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nong Fai, for translating. So I think now we're going to give Keisuke a parting gift.
Yeah. Thank you, Keisuke Maeda, Mr. Chatpong Chulidimon, and Miss Pantira Julayanon. Now I would like to invite Mr. Chatpong to give a token of appreciation for our speaker, please. Hi. As well as give a token of appreciation to our interpreter.
Okay, I will switch back to Thai again for a really short, but I hope it will be effective PR news. So มีข่าวสารประชาสัมพันธ์จากอาสานะคะซึ่งทางสมาคมจะขอเรียนเชิญสมาชิกและผู้สนใจร่วมกันนำเสนอบ้านที่ถูกออกแบบให้สอดคล้องกับพัฒนาการและความเปลี่ยนแปลงในช่วงรัชสมัยแห่งการครองราชย์ของในหลวงรัชกาลที่ 9 ระหว่างปีพศ 2489 ถึง 2559 เพื่อดำเนินการรวบรวมและตีพิมพ์ลงในหนังสือบ้านในรัชสมัยของในหลวงรัชกาลที่ 9 โดยสมาชิกและท่านผู้สนใจสามารถดูข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมได้ที่อาสาเว็บไซต์แล้วก็อีเมลที่ขึ้นไว้บนหน้าจอนะคะโดยมีขั้นตอนคือถ่ายรูปแบบบ้านในสมัยรัชกาลที่ 9 สแกน QR code และจากนั้นก็อัปโหลดขึ้นไปบนเว็บไซต์ค่ะ
ค่ะและอีกหนึ่งโครงการที่จะขอประชาสัมพันธ์คือโครงการ Halodeck Architects สำหรับสถาปนิกและนิสิตนักศึกษาซึ่งเป็นส่วนหนึ่งของโครงการอาสาไดอะล็อกนะคะโดยมีวัตถุประสงค์เพื่อส่งเสริมสร้างกิจกรรมทางวิชาการรูปแบบต่างๆประกอบไปด้วยการจัดนิทรรศการการอบรมเชิงปฏิบัติระยะสั้นและการเสวนาเชิงวิชาชีพและวิชาการโดยจะมีการบรรยายจากสถาปนิกชื่อดังนะคะบริษัท Halodeck ที่สถานทูตออสเตรียในวันที่ 14 มิถุนายนนี้และจัดเวิร์กช็อปตั้งแต่วันที่ 17 มิถุนาถึง 30 กรกฎาคมสามารถสมัครได้ตั้งแต่วันนี้นะคะที่เว็บไซต์ vienna@halodecksarchitects.com บน Presentation และขอดูรายละเอียดเพิ่มเติมได้ที่อาสาเว็บไซต์นะคะ
และหลังในเย็นวันนี้นะคะจะขอเชิญร่วมร้องเพลงถวายความไว้อาลัยแด่พระบาทสมเด็จพระปรมินทรมหาภูมิพลอดุลยเดชรัชกาลที่ 9 ณ บริเวณลานนิทรรศการสถาปนิกแห่งแผ่นดินนะคะเวลา 17.45 นาฬิกาที่โถงทางเข้า 2 Challenger Hall ค่ะ
แล้วสำหรับผู้ที่รับฟังที่ทำการลงทะเบียนออนไลน์แล้วสามารถมาโชว์ QR code ให้กับเจ้าหน้าที่ก่อนเข้าเซสชั่นในห้องต่อไปนะคะ
ค่ะแล้วก็สมาชิกของอาสานะคะสามารถขอรับสูจิบัตรบ้านๆหนังสือเลคาบูเซ่แอนด์ลุยส์ไอคานนักกายกรรมและโยคีแห่งสถาปัตยกรรมที่อาสาคลับได้ฟรีนะคะแล้วก็ขอบคุณเฟอร์นิเจอร์สวยๆนะคะบนเวทีจาก Curio ค่ะ We will resume at 3:30 to have the next sessions with Ajalendran Studio see you at 3:30 4 I'm sorry 4
We postpone a bit.
we postpone a little bit so 4 p.m. here thank you